welcome back to another episode of
My Waifu
and Me. And on today's episode, we are bringing you our fantastic, phenomenal, I think something like almost 30 different series manga haul for August. And yes, that means we picked up a couple volume 1s, we picked up a couple continuing series, but mainly these are just volumes that we picked up that you didn't see in any of our other videos. So usually if we do a hunt, we'll post the stuff we picked up at the end of the hunt, right? Or if we pick something up like a Right Stuff haul, we do a haul like that. This is other stuff that we picked up. So that means we picked it up at Barnes & Noble. We picked it up at Half Price Books. We picked it up at Books A Million. We picked it up at Kinokuniya. So we don't just pick up manga on our hunts. We go hunting all the time just for, it's our...
pure enjoyment.
Yeah, it's our pastime,
It's
so
our hobby.
sometimes we film, sometimes we don't. So
Yeah.
because of that, you got to know that yes, we're picking up manga all sorts of different times, and that's what all of this is. This is everything else that we picked up in the month of August. It's got to be at least 30 volumes, maybe a little bit more than that even. So we're going to show you all the stuff that we picked up throughout the month, and we'll kind of tell you where we picked it up and what we picked up. But we want to see just your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about some of the series we picked up? Are you guys loving these series? Are these series that you guys are not as invested in? Are these ones, tell us down in the comments down below if there's anything about these series that you're excited about, or if you're maybe interested in reading or trying these as well, because we did pick up some volume 1s this month that I think are some series that we had been wanting to try, but we'll make sure to show you guys all the goods. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start our August manga haul. Waifu, start us off. What did you grab this month?
So obviously, this is probably no surprise to anybody, but I got Golden Kamuy volume 23. I can't believe there's already 23 volumes of this. But man, I read it the night that I bought it because I'm super invested in this series. And we finally finished what's out of the anime too this month.
Yes.
So that's been really enjoyable for us, and now I can talk about this stuff with Jerry too.
Yeah, so
I read ahead in the manga.
Right. The manga, the English printing of the manga is only a little bit ahead of where the third season of the anime actually concludes. So if you've read all the anime, you're only maybe like 20 or 30 chapters behind the English manga printing. So with this volume, obviously it gets them a little bit further ahead, but Waifu has decided to just read along with the prints instead of reading ahead online or anything. So Waifu picked this one up and is excited to keep reading, and honestly, I'm excited for another season, hopefully, in the future. So
yeah, definitely fingers crossed for another season. We don't really know much about it, but definitely something we've enjoyed watching together.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first series that I picked up was volumes 2 and volume 3 of Worlds End Harem. So here's the deal. I have already read these 2 volumes. I read them via scans online already. I think I've read up through volume 4 already. So I decided to go ahead and start picking the physicals up and reading that way instead. I didn't really love the scanlations, and honestly, if I'm enjoying a series, I'd rather pick up the physical and actually support the creator instead of continuing to read it online that way, because there is no official way to read this series online. 7 Seas, which is the publisher, does not do like an online website to read this. But Worlds End Harem, it's a really weird series. It is getting an anime in the fall, so in a couple weeks, it's going to be starting a new anime series. So I do expect if you want to pick this one up, you might want to pick it up now, because I think once the anime starts, people are going to start buying it from stores. So be on the lookout if you want to try Worlds End Harem. It is very ecchi. It's very adult. Please don't be purchasing the series if you're not 18 plus. This is a series that I would only suggest someone who's 18 plus. There is a lot of adult circumstances, a lot of adult situations, but I read these volumes during last month. I'm just now trying to pick up some of the physicals though. So maybe once I start getting 4 and 5, I'll start reading them that way from this point forward. But yeah, so 2 and 3 just to kind of add them to the collection because I already read them online.
Next up, we have Blue Period Volume 4. Again, speaking of which, something that you might want to pick up before the anime comes out. This is getting an anime very soon. Yes. So excited for it. I bought this the same day I bought Golden Kamuy, and I also read it like the same night. Yep. I'm obsessed. I really am. If you like art, if you were an art student either in high school or college or anything, this series would really appeal to you. I know Jerry and I both did AP art in high school, so I feel like a lot of the stuff that happens with the main character, these students, I feel like we kind of felt the same pressures with like creating art and building a portfolio for the AP tests. Of course, we didn't go to art school for college or anything, but you also just, especially in this volume, you really get to see a lot of the pressures of the academic system in Japan, where people stress themselves out to the point where they're just mentally and physically unwell. So that's what I kind of took away from this volume, because I did read it. I'll go a little bit more in depth when we do our reading log, but It's such a great series. I think the art is fantastic.
And the anime trailer looks heat.
Yeah, it looks so good.
The anime trailer looks really good.
So I'm definitely excited to watch the anime for that as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely pick up the 4 volumes that are out currently, because they might disappear once the anime comes out.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it's been working lately, where an anime comes out and you just can't find volume 1 or 2 for a really long time until it restocks, which can take months sometimes.
Literally months.
So be aware of that.
Yes. Next series that we picked up is called How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, Volume 7. So this is a series that we have been collecting. We did pick up the first 6 volumes a while back, and we both have read a little bit of... I think Waifu's read everything, including this one. Yep, so Waifu already read ahead. I think on Volume 3 is I believe so. But super cute series. You learn a little bit about working out, which is pretty cool. And so if you want to learn a little... If you want to have a little education in your manga, this is definitely that type of series, because there is literally, like, workout tutorials drawn through etchy situations. So, you know, it's a little bit etchy, but you actually do learn how to do workouts, which is really cool. So it spreads education, and it's still a fun, like, slice of life type of story. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check out How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. Waifu and I have been loving it. The artwork is gorgeous in this series, and honestly, yeah, it's a really fun comedy slice of life.
It's hilarious. I mean, I have a hard time with comedy sometimes, because, like, I feel like my humor has a very specific taste, but, like, that kind of stuff,
very funny.
It makes me laugh. Like, every chapter there's at least one big laughing moment that I have, because it's so goofy and quirky. I love it. I went ahead, and even though we might plan to watch the anime of this, I got...
We probably will.
Kageki Shoujo, The Curtain Rises.
Yep.
We
watched the first episode and really loved the episode.
Or was it the first 2? I can't remember.
I think we only watched the first 1.
I can't remember. Maybe it was a longer episode.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why I'm thinking it was maybe 2. But I really loved it. Again, kind of like an artist's perspective, but this is more about theater, musical theater, performing arts like that. And we were also theater kids, you know, from time to time. You more than me, but
yes,
I was in and out of theater stuff when I was in high school. But it was super relatable for me, and I really I love the characters. It's a female-led show, which also is something that I like to see as well. But man, yeah, I'm definitely excited to give it a read, and it's all in just one thing. You might see 2 different versions of this. This is the first one you have to buy, and then the other one that you see that has the 1 on the side as like first volume, that's actually a sequel to this. So be wary of that when you're purchasing it, because we were kind of confused at first.
The US flipped it. It was like in the Japanese release originally, this run was just called Kageki Shoujo, and then the second run had like a subtitle. But they for some reason for the US, this original run, they added The Curtain Rises, and then made the second run that has multiple volumes. They had it's just Kageki Shoujo. But the thing is that it's all one continuous story. What happened was after the first couple volumes, the series switched from, I believe, a seinen magazine over to a shoujo magazine, which I guess was a little bit more, necessary for the series. But because of that, it switched titles, even though it was just a continuation. So if you want to pick the series up, start with the big brick one, and then go into volume 1 is, I believe, the correct reading order. And I believe the anime is just going to adapt through as if it was one series anyway. So we've only watched 1 episode of the anime, but we really loved episode 1.
Yeah.
And we definitely are going to probably watch the rest, maybe when it finishes this season. So
for sure.
All right, the next one I picked up was really awesome because my homie, Chase the Dark Sage, who we'll make sure to link somewhere because he helps us out all the time, and we hunt with him a lot, actually picked this up for me. This is volume 2 of the out-of-print series Karakuri Doji Ultimo. So this is a series that I actually read when I was a kid, and it's by the same author as Shaman King, which is one of my favorite shonen manga of all time. And I've had volume 1 for a while now. I found it at a Half Price Books, and Chase found this also at a Half Price Books for retail price. So he picked it up for me. I paid him back. And it's really awesome. But this series, I remember reading when I was young, and I've been wanting to maybe pick up the rest, but it does have a little bit of a price. It's a little pricey to get all of it nowadays because it is deep out of print. So you're not going to see this brand new at a store right now because it doesn't get printed right now. But I believe there's 11 or 12 volumes, something like that. Really cool series about these 2 kind of warring robots, and they sort of had a battle in the past, and now they're in the present day. There's some humans involved. And also, interesting note is that the concept was actually created by Stan Lee. the Marvel, Marvel superheroes king over there. And so this is kind of a tag between Hiroyuki Takei and Stan Lee, which is what makes this even more of an interesting series. I know a lot of people don't know the connections between Marvel and anime and manga because there's actually a lot of them. But Ultimo, really cool series. I'm excited to maybe get more for my shelf and maybe eventually do a reread because I haven't read it since I was probably in middle school, I think is when I read this. So very cool that I've been able to grab a couple more of those.
Okay, next up we have Prince Freya Volume 1. As Jerry mentioned, we picked up a couple of Volume 1s this month.
Yeah, there's a couple more coming.
I was building up an Amazon order, and I was getting free shipping, so I was like, I'll add on a manga volume that I've been wanting, but haven't, made the purchase yet. So I went with this. I went with Prince Freya. Y'all know my tastes are kind of all over the place. I'll read something like Berserk and then I'll read something like this, but
yeah.
I'll like both.
They'll both be good.
I have a broad palette, I guess, because
right.
I'm just, if I like it, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So this looked enjoyable. I've heard good things about it from other people around the internet. And it's kind of like that classic. I don't know, she's the man, a female posing as a man. So I thought that was also really interesting as well. So I'm excited to read this in the future and see what it's like. But let me know in the comments if you like the series and what you like about it, and if you'd recommend getting more. So there's that.
Okay, next one I picked up was pretty cool. This is Doubt Volume 2. This is a 2-volume series that they did. Doubt, it's kind of like a murder game sort of series, which is pretty sweet. And I believe I've read all of this before, but it was also many, many years ago. I read it through Scanlations. So I wanted to pick it up to do a reread and potentially go into one of its kind of spiritual successors called Judge. But it's sort of a murder game type of story. So people are abducted. They end up in sort of a Saw type situation, having to kill each other. Sort of like Danganronpa, sort of that series. But that's kind of all I remember about it. So that's kind of why I want to do a reread of it, because it's been so many years since I read it. I think I read it in one sitting the last time I read it too. So I now have both of the omnibuses. It's only 2 of these, and that completes the whole Doubt story. But like I said, I believe there's Judge and one other that's sort of like a successor, sequel sort of series to this as well by the same author. So pretty cool. I'm excited to get back into this now that I have the whole series.
Next up, Tokyo Tarareba Girls. Not sure if I'm saying that second word right.
I think it's Tarareba.
Yeah, Tarareba. So this is by the author that also wrote Princess Jellyfish, and I have been really into her work lately. So I've only seen the Princess Jellyfish anime, but spoiler alert, I'm probably going to get the box set this next month once we get paid, which is like tomorrow. So I'm really excited. And this Princess Jellyfish and Blank Canvas are the only 3 printed in English for this author currently. So I'm kind of just like, all right, let's just do it. Let's just get all of her works out the gate because I really am invested in her artwork and her writing. I think she's just so talented, so creative.
I think I might have to give this one a shot. I really liked the synopsis that I read of this series. So it's kind of about some older ladies kind of trying to find love later in life. Not older, like in their 30s, and they're like trying to figure it out as adult women in the city. So kind of Sex in the City-esque, I believe. So
kind of is kind of
should be interesting.
But yeah, definitely excited to collect all of these too. So there we go.
Next, I was able to pick up Saint Seiya Saintia Show Volume 1 and Volume 2. And here's the deal, if you don't know anything about me, I am a huge Saint Seiya fan. I've been a big fanboy of the series since I was really young, and I first got to check the series out as a kid. And I love the original series by Masami Kurumada. I believe this is one of the only spin-offs, despite there being a lot of spin-offs Saint Seiya, that's ever been printed into English. And I think there's 11 with a 12th volume on the way. I think it wrapped up in 15 volumes. I think it's completed, but I could be wrong. And there's an anime version of this one as well, but I've never tried it. So I've never tried this one where it features a female cast. I'm really excited to give it a shot. I found these both at half-price books. They were both literally half off cover price, so I grabbed 1 and 2. The only issue is that they did have these kind of weird black dots on the... It seems like a lot of books got pushed over to half-price books that were... unfortunately maybe not selling very well, and I think that's how they ended up there. They were I think it was like a bunch of 7 Seas properties. So I'm excited to give this one a shot. Again, kind of bummer that it's got the black dot, but for half off you really can't beat it, and I might pick up some more if I do like 1 and 2. I do know you don't really find them out in the wild, but I believe Right Stuff has a bunch of them in stock, so I would probably just buy a bunch off there or try to piece them together online. I don't think this is a super popular series, so super cool. Definitely want to give this one a shot.
Speaking of the same deal that we found at half price, again, the black dot on the top, but yeah, I got Satoko and Nada from half price as well on that same deal, half off the cover price, and I thought the premise of it was really interesting. I'll just read the back. A charming tale of friendship between a Japanese woman and her Muslim roommate.
Yay!
I thought that was a really cool premise, and there are a couple more volumes out. I think
there is
2 and 3.
At least 2
so
and 3
far,
we've seen out.
Yeah, we've seen like at Barnes, which obviously I didn't even notice before until I saw
until we got volume 1.
Yeah, but I haven't read it yet. It looks pretty short. It's pretty small, but I'm excited to read it. I think it's going to be an interesting, and I love kind of like cross-cultural stuff like this.
Okay, now this next one I actually found at Half Price Books as well, and I wanted to pick this up for normal price because I'd seen it at Barnes & Noble, but it was such a cool find to find it pretty much brand new at Half Price Books. And this one did not have the black dot on it, but this is Super Sentai Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, which is an original manga series by Shotaro Ishinomori. And if you don't know Ishinomori, he is the creator of the Super Sentai series that has become the very popular Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here in the US. And yes, obviously, if you don't know Power Rangers, I don't know what you're doing, but this was one of the original mangas he wrote before the live-action Tokusatsu series. If you don't, again, another fun fact about me, I was really into Japanese Super Sentai series for a couple of years in my youth, so I would watch them every year as they came out. So it was really cool to see the original manga get published in this really, really nice hardcover edition. So, I mean, just so cool. And Shotaro Ishinomori is a wonderful author with a lot of other really cool series under his belt, so I want to see them kind of do some compilations for some of his other stuff, maybe. I think that would be super cool. But shout out to 7 Seas. They've been putting in work, honestly. We picked up a lot of 7 Seas this month, but really cool to get this Super Sentai on half price.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then one last half-price one that had the little black dot is Claudine by Ryoko Ikeda. And if you're probably recognize the art right away. It's the same mangaka that does Rose of Versailles, or did, I guess you should say. But it looks like just a one-shot. It's just a very short story. This is it, you know. So I thought, hey, why not? You know, I read the first omnibus of Rose of Versailles, and you know, I really enjoyed it. I just haven't picked up the rest because they're pretty pricey.
They're like almost $50.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like so I'm kind of.
They're really clean volumes, but yeah.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. The page quality is so nice. But still, I think this will kind of help tide me over because I also do really love her art and her writing. But it also seemed like a very interesting premise about somebody in a female assigned body, but they feel like a man on the inside. So she kind of definitely touches on those themes again in this story. Okay,
next one we picked up is obviously we picked up the new Junji Ito, the new volume Censor, with this beautiful dust jacket. Oh my god, so cool! Nice. You can see it there. It says, "Did she wander in, or was she drawn in?" Ooh. You know, that's the lead-in. With any Ito, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of really awesome graphic, sort of horror situations. That's what he does best. He draws these incredibly, like the artwork is just always beautiful. No idea what the story is on this one.
Yeah,
I think it is one contained. This is not a short story collection, so I believe this is one story in the book. Yeah. So usually, if it's a short story collection, it'll say it there on the spine, Junji Ito story collection, which a lot of them do, but this one does not. So this should be one contained story, similar to last month's, right? Rimina. Yeah, I think Rimina, or Lovesick was the one, but the one before that was Rimina. But similar to Rimina, this is another Junji Ito pickup.
And then, of course, you all know that we've been collecting the Pokemon Adventures Collector's Edition. So 9 came out recently, and we picked that up. Jerry actually got it when him and UAP went to, what was it, Odessa? Medessa?
Yeah.
So they were in Medessa, Texas, and
we should.
He picked it up at a Barnes there, so I thought that was kind of funny. So instead of it being from just a random Dallas Barnes like usual,
it's now stocked up at every Barnes.
It is now at every Barnes, but I guess it hit there first somehow because I didn't see it either when I was out. But yeah, so we have silver and yellow on there, and then this is really cool with alligator and silver on the back.
So sweet.
I'm definitely excited. There's one more left. Definitely ready to complete that.
Yep, only 10 of those in those collector's editions before they're not doing them anymore. Okay. A volume one that I've been wanting to pick up all month, and I finally pulled the trigger right before the end of the month, which was this series, The Witch and the Beast. And I've been hearing a lot of good things about this series from a couple other people who do manga tube, and I wanted to give it a shot. There's something about the artwork and the way, the stylization of the cover that really drew me in, and I heard this was a dark fantasy series. That's literally all I know. So I'm going to read volume 1. If I like it, I'll buy volume 2 and 3. If I don't like it, I will, get rid of it. But I want to give it a shot. The artwork really draws me in, and I haven't really read a good dark fantasy in a while, so I thought it might be cool. Seems to be set in some different, I'm not sure what the time period even is, but I'm super excited to give it a shot. And again, this cover, at first, I didn't love it, but it really has grown on me. I really like this cover for some reason, but it's got that nice matte finish that Kodansha does too as well, so pretty cool.
As for me, I love dark fantasy, so...
Yeah, I think
even
if I don't like it, Waifu might like it, so...
I probably will like it. Actually, speaking of, I'll do this one next, of dark fantasy, I picked up 2 and 3 of The Girl from the Other Side. As you know, I picked up 1 recently, and I read it, and absolutely loved it. I think the art is really fantastic, and the story is very interesting, very captivating. It's a dark fantasy for sure, but there's some mystery in there as well, so I'm excited to get to that and collect the whole series. I think it's almost complete. The last volume hasn't released in English yet, and I don't think it will for a while.
Seven Seas take their time. They're taking their time.
Yeah, they take their time. They did well with these, I think. I think the printing of them is pretty good, so yeah, definitely excited for these.
So next I picked up a Naoki Urasawa classic, and that is Pluto Volumes 1 and Pluto Volume 2. So really cool that I was able to find these. I guess they're getting a small reprint, and so we just found these out and about. I think one was at a Barnes & Noble, one was at a Books A Million maybe, or maybe they're both Barnes & Noble. I don't remember, but yeah, so we saw 1 and 2. I think this is only an 8 or 9. It's a pretty short series, so I definitely want to get the rest. Urasawa's a big, one of those authors that I think everyone needs to read some of his work. He's got just a plethora of really popular work, Master Keaton, Monster, 20th Century Boys. Yeah. We picked up manga volumes of all those before, but I really think Pluto is a great short read, and I really want to give it a shot. Everyone's told me about it. It's a spin-off series of the classic Astro Boy. So if you don't know what Astro Boy is, then I don't know what to tell you, but it's sort of that sci-fi series. So I've never read it, so I don't want to, I have no idea what is going on inside, but I'm excited to read it. Yeah, I did mess up my spine. Look at this, guys. I kind of dinked the spine a little bit. I dropped the bag. I was coming in the house, and I was holding too much stuff, and I dropped the bag. And I pulled it out of the bag. I was oh man, it hit the corner of the spine. So the spine took a little bit of damage. It's okay. I don't really think I'm gonna be, I'm keeping these for my collection. It still looks pretty good on the shelf anyway, so it'll look super clean. Okay, cool.
For sure. Yeah, sometimes it happens. When we were unpacking our monthly haul, I saw that Boys Run the Riot kind of had a little... It was kind of folded over on this part, so hopefully it'll straighten out. There's really not a crease or anything.
Right.
But still, it always hurts to see that happen.
Yeah.
But yes, I picked up the first volume of Boys Run the Riot. Jerry, I think you said it's only going to be 4.
4. I think it's 4 total.
It's going to be very short. This one's pretty beefy already.
2 and 3 are already out, I think.
I think 2 is for sure.
Yeah.
3 probably will come out soon.
Yeah.
I've only seen 2 on shelves, so I can't say for sure, but leave a comment if you know.
I'm pretty sure 2 and 3 are out as of this recording, and 4 will be out before the end of the year, I think. Yeah. So it's going to be done soon.
For sure. Yeah, I guess I've been kind of buying on a theme. I've been buying a lot of stuff related to gender and sex and stuff.
Yes.
But I like that stuff. I like, women's studies, gender studies, that kind of thing. So, definitely thought I'd add it to the collection as a story I would enjoy.
Heck yeah. Cool pickup that I did this month. One weird thing about me as well is that if I see a One Piece cover for the Shonen Jump weekly magazine, it's hard for me to resist. And this is a really sweet one. It's got Luffy jump over the flag with all the other characters featured in Shonen Jump all around him on the beach. And yeah, really sweet. This is just a monthly Shonen Jump a weekly Shonen Jump-ish edition. These come out every week in Japan, and they're pretty cheap. These are only $5.99 here in the U.S., so you can only get them at Kinokuniya here in the U.S., and that's where we grab them usually. But I usually only buy them if they have Luffy on the cover. I unfortunately missed one of my favorite covers of the year, which was Luffy in a NASA jacket in the center. That one sold out super fast when we got to Kino that week. they're like, yeah, we sold those out like the moment we put them out. So usually they don't sell out at our local Kino, so we're able to just grab them when we stop by within a day or two of them dropping. But they usually show up around Wednesday or Thursday each week, and if they've got a cool cover, I'll grab one. I think I only have maybe 3 or 4 of them at this point. But this one's especially special because it actually includes the new Bleach one-shot, which was kind of out of nowhere. I think a lot of people were surprised by that, but it does include the new Bleach one-shot and includes, I believe, a big ol' color page for it as well. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Yes, okay, so check it out. Waifu can, this is the Bleach. So you got this really cool Bleach kind of middle page here that's in full color as a part of this magazine, because this was the one that featured the new Bleach one-shot. It also features a really cool thing that happened in One Piece that I'm not going to spoil for you guys, but one of my favorite One Piece moments. So it was kind of like destiny that I got this volume, because I was like, yeah, I want the cover, I like the 2 things happening in it, and so it's a pretty cool addition to have. But those come out every week.
Okay, next is volume 1 of Ran in the Gray World. If you recognize the author's name, it's the same author as Go with the Clouds, North by Northwest, which
just picked up,
and I read it. Really enjoyed it. So I think I had been waiting for this one to get a restock of volume 1. It had been hard to find, and then I finally saw it and I was like, I just have to pick it up.
Yeah.
But I think it's
really pretty looking.
Yeah, I really like his style of his characters, so I'm excited to read that. But again, it doesn't have really an explanation on the back of what it's about, so I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure I'll like it. Yeah. If not, then I guess you'll see in a later reading log review, but I doubt it.
Okay, so Waifu read volume 1 of this next series, and she had to get a couple more, and honestly, we wanted to get ahead of the hype, because I know the hype is coming, because the anime series is airing later this year.
Anime.
Another one to be worried about, and that's Comey Can't Communicate. Yeah. So we grabbed volume 2 and volume 3 of this series. And yes, we just had to get ahead of the hype, because Waifu read 1 and she was like, oh gosh, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah,
so
good.
We went ahead and got 2 and 3. We might even swing and get a couple more just to get ahead of it, because we know that once this anime debuts, it's going to be game over. You know, I think this series is going to be gone from shelves for a little bit, missing random volumes, so on and so forth. So we might stack up and get a couple more before the anime comes out, just to get ahead of it. But yes, Comey Can't Communicate volumes 2 and 3. It's a Shonen series. You know, it's pretty good, I've heard. So you should check it out for sure if you like Shonen romance.
Okay, next is Love on the Other Side. So it's the same author as The Girl from the Other Side, and I think it's the same universe maybe, because he talks about the other side in this, but it's a short story collection. And again, we saw it. Jerry actually found it, and he was like, hey, did you know that this existed? And I was like, nuh-uh. And so
I don't know if it's new either, or something we've never seen.
Either.
It's probably not super new. It's probably just something we've overlooked until we got the other series.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's like you're always kind of finding.
Right.
First printing June 2020, so it's about a year.
Okay, so it's like a year old. So yeah.
US.
Okay.
So it's a year old, but I'd still consider that pretty new. But yeah, I'm excited to read this too. Again, really like the author, like what I read from The Girl from the Other Side. So excited to dig into this soon.
And then we picked up Black Clover Volume 3. So for those of you that don't know, I have read about 6 or so volumes of this on the Shonen Jump app. Waifu is caught up in reading weekly of Black Clover on the Shonen Jump app. So we have been slowly, instead of just kind of getting ahead of ourselves and buying it all at once or whatever, trying to swing on it, we've just been picking up a volume or so every time it reprints. And because we were behind, so when we started collecting it, Volume 1 wasn't on the shelves, then it reprinted, so we picked it up, and then 2 was on the shelves, so we grabbed it 1 month, and now 3 reprinted this month, so we grabbed 3. We'll probably grab 4 when it reprints. I think it's set to reprint like next month or something, so we'll grab 4 then, and we'll just slowly accumulate a couple more volumes. Black Clover, really great. It's not my favorite. Everybody knows that. It's not my favorite. It is a very standard shonen series, but Waifu has really enjoyed it, and I had a good time reading the 6 volumes I've read. I don't know how much more I'm going to read or how much farther ahead I might get, but I have, like I said, I read about, I think about 6 volumes, if I remember correctly. So I've definitely read the content of this volume, but, don't want to get too far into Black Clover, or I might get attacked by the deep Black Clover fans, I don't hate it, I enjoy the series, it's fine, it's just not my favorite, okay?
Fair enough. Alright, next up is Blank Canvas, 2 through 5. So I picked up the first volume and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think you picked it up on one of our hunts, maybe?
I think it was on one of our hunts, so you probably already saw it if you are a what's the word? Loyal watcher.
Loyal fan of the My Waifu and Me channel, you know.
Which, you know, if you are one, thank you so much. I mean, we definitely appreciate you coming back time and time again. But yeah, I read the first volume and I just fell in love. Again, it's the Princess Jellyfish author, and it's only these 5 volumes. Oh my gosh, I'll talk about it more when we do our reading log.
She read all 5 this month, yeah.
But guys, there were tears.
Tears were shed.
There were tears. I don't really cry over this kind of stuff, or like especially a manga, but
yeah,
man, I was crying. So I'll leave it at that. We'll get in deeper
in the reading log this month, but definitely that's what inspired that Tokyo Tawareba Girls pickup also.
That too, yeah.
Okay, to wrap up my side of the haul, I picked up volumes 5, 6, and volume 16 of Yu Yu Hakusho. And yes, volume 16 is kind of random. I already have volumes 1 through 4, so I grabbed 5 and 6 because they restocked at Barnes & Noble. And then I went ahead and grabbed 16 because it was one that they didn't have online at Right Stuff Anime right now. So I'm going to grab some more of these off Right Stuff because they do have a couple more in stock. I finally have decided I'm going to swing and finish all of Yu Yu Hakusho, get the manga series. It's pretty much one of my most beloved anime experiences, something that has been with me for a long time. And the waifu, I recently had her watch it for the first time in the last year, and that was really awesome. So I got to rewatch the whole series. Waifu got to watch it for the first time, and again, it's just one of my most beloved anime series, and I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna get the whole manga series to display and kind of have on the shelf as well. I don't know if I'll do a reread or, you know, a read of the series, because I never have read the manga version. I've only watched the anime twice now, and that's awesome, but I might do a read of the manga. I don't know, but it's gonna be nice. I've had the volume 1 through 4 for like years. I found them at half-price books for like $1 a piece or something, like a year or two ago, something like that. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab 1 through 4 because they're like $1 a piece. And so now I was like, you know what? I want the whole set on the shelf. So we're gonna try to get the rest. And like I said, yeah, 16's kind of random, but it was just one they had at Barnes & Noble, but they didn't have a Right Stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to grab it at Barnes & Noble, and then I'll get more on Right Stuff. So hopefully next month, you might see some more Yu Yu Hakusho pickup.
Maybe. And last, y'all know I've really been enjoying Maison Ikoku, and now I'm actively collecting it as it's coming out. So I went ahead and picked up Mermaid Saga, or I should say that Jerry's brother picked it up for me because where he works, he gets a really great discount. So by him doing that, he saved me, you know, like 10 to 15 bucks. It was like, yeah, 10 or 15 bucks. So definitely really thankful for that. And if you didn't know, this is the whole series. It's just these 2. I'm really excited to read it. I've really just loved reading her, and now I'm like, oh man, I think I gotta start Inuyasha now. And it's so
the
sad
crazy part
because
is
the
like,
Bizbigs, like the volume 1.
It's tough to find right now.
So
at least
hard to
in
find.
stores. It might be online somewhere.
But it's like every other volume is fully in stock at the Barnes that we go to.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Maybe you'll see it in the future, but at least for now, we'll have Maison Ikoku and Mermaid Saga, and we'll build up that.
We'll go from there. Yeah,
we'll go from there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, and they've been doing a lot of really cool printings of Rumiko Takahashi's works.
Yes, like
they did,
really nice collector.
Urusei Yatsura, Maison Ikoku, and Mermaid Saga all got those really nice sets that look just like that. And then obviously the Inuyasha has all the Vizbigs. I think it's 18 Vizbigs, for 18 or 19, something like that. I'm always off by a volume or something. I think it's like 18 Vizbigs for all like 60 original, 50 original volumes, something like that, which is really nice. And then, you know, she has a couple other series like Ron Mahaf that have been reprinted a couple different ways. But I'm curious if they'll maybe get a nice collector's edition like that as well. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
But that is all we have for you guys here in our August haul. We went through all the new volumes that we picked up this month in August, and it was such a great month for manga. I think that genuinely we picked up a lot of cool stuff that we're excited to read, but also just stuff that we're excited to put on the shelf, stuff we've already read. Honestly, we grabbed it because we read it online and we're about to read it, and we're just happy to be able to share some of this love for manga with you guys. So you know that if you enjoyed this manga haul video, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, because that helps us out here in the algorithm. It helps the video to get out to more people, helps us to share our love of collecting with more people out there in the world. So that's what you guys got to do. Give us a little bit of love if you enjoyed this manga haul. So, keep loving manga, keep collecting manga, keep reading manga. This has been another episode of My Waifu and Me, and we're saying, wait, I didn't sing.
I thought he was.
This has been another episode of My Waifu! and me. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. This has been my wife and me, and we're saying peace.